This has been a really weird week for news. Like, there's been no rhyme, there's been no reason, it's just been a bunch of random stuff. But hey, that's not gonna stop the weak link from doing what we do best, reporting on everything that's happened this week so that you don't have to. So let's start this off with probably the biggest story that happened online, with that being the release of Threads, the official Twitter killer, which is made to compete with the big blue bird itself. And so far, it's been a pretty big success, getting like 10 million users in the first 7 hours alone. Of course though, this growth isn't coming without its controversy, especially from Elon Musk himself. Elon has been very open about his distaste for Meta's clone, basically calling out Mark Zuckerberg for copying him. And by him, I mean the original creators of Twitter, which for some reason, Musk fanboys seem to forget that Elon Musk didn't actually make Twitter, simply bought it for $44 billion. $44 billion and still operating the platform on a loss. That has gotta suck. Musk's lawyer has even sent Mark Zuckerberg a cease and desist letter, basically saying that they have used insider information to make Threads. Oh boy. Just adding a bit more fuel to that fire for when they inevitably throw down, I see. The big question is though, will Threads actually be able to overthrow Twitter? I mean, Meta has had a bunch of copycat apps in the past and they've completely failed, so it'll be interesting to see if Meta can actually pull off a less toxic version of Twitter. And until then, we'll continue to see these two beef like little children on the playground. This week, another big online story that happened was Idubbbz Content Creator Clash actually losing $250,000 for charity. Now, the second Creator Clash was a massive boxing event that happened this year, and it was meant to be a bigger and better successor to the original Creator Clash, with a bigger roster, a bigger arena, and even more seats. However, in a video this week, Idubbbz revealed that this one did not go that great whatsoever. Now, Idubbbz has stated that the main reasons for this was that they went probably over budget with the arena and the hotels they had to book for all the creators. But the other big reason he stated was piracy, stating that from the 1.3 million to 3 million people that watched, only 50,000 paid for views. Alright, I'm gonna stop the accent, but just know, I could be in Pirates of the Caribbean. To make up for this, Idubbbz ended up doing a 24-hour charity stream where he made $162,000 to make up for the loss. Hopefully the full amount can be made up when Idubbbz releases the VOD for the Creator Clash 2, which should be coming this Tuesday. And with probably no Creator Clash 3 on the horizon, hopefully it can leave a good legacy for the event. Probably one of the weirdest stories to come out this week was Posidion, a popular IRL streamer who got arrested for giving his girlfriend a lap dance in lingerie. Just wanted to point out that he was the one in the lingerie and not his girlfriend. Just think that's important to mention. Anyways, Posidion is no stranger to controversy. His platform has been used multiple times for his viewers to do some of the most outrageous things, including bomb pranks on planes. Adding to Posidion's terrible legacy, he was arrested in Thailand and had to pay $12,000 for bail and was at risk of going to jail up to 5 years, which he openly admitted that there is no way he is surviving. Thankfully for him though, it doesn't look like he's going to be at risk of going to jail anytime soon. However, he is still set to appear in court soon before he's able to leave the country, so let's see what's gonna happen. Just in case though, I do highly recommend he starts watching Get Hard just for a few tips and tricks for him to use. You know what's great about this episode of The Week Link? I can finally talk about some anime stuff, because in case you couldn't tell, I love that stuff. And this week, Jujutsu Kaisen fans were met with a very, very tough decision, because somehow, some way, people got access to the first episode of Season 2 and leaked it online, which left fans with a very hard moral decision. Do I sacrifice my integrity and watch it early, or do I wait for the official release literally the next day? If you chose the first option, you probably couldn't go on Twitter whatsoever. And for someone like me that struggles with self-control, fuck all of you guys that posted the full opening. It probably would have been a much bigger deal if the first episode literally wasn't released the next day, but it does bring up an interesting conversation. Is it right that we watch this early, or should we support the creators with the official release? Obviously, there is the right answer that we should choose, but what one does ultimately the community settle on? Either way, the first episode was amazing, so let's hope for the best, and let's hope that we can see Gojo in all his glory. Las Vegas this week was also introduced to probably one of the coolest buildings of all time. This thing right here is the Sphere. It is a $2.3 billion building, which is covered in LEDs, which lets it do cool shit like this. I mean, look at it. Now it's a basketball. Now it's a pumpkin. Now it's responsible for distracting drivers and causing a massive accident. Okay, that one hasn't happened yet, and let's pray that it never does. Anyways, the building is made to be a massive arena for concerts and performances, where on the inside, it uses a bunch of these LEDs and surround sound to create these really trippy visuals and immersive performances. It is also created so that you are going to have top tier sound some quality regardless of where you sit. It also just so happens to give me the vibes of somewhere where you're going to be fighting a Final Fantasy boss. You can't tell me it wouldn't be awesome to have an orchestra playing Sephiroth's theme as you watch the whole arena light up as Sephiroth hits you with a supernova. That would be the coolest shit, and I would pay so much money. The Sphere is set to open this September, so prepare yourselves, Americans, for probably some of the sickest concerts of all time. Into a little bit more of scary news, the globe has been hit with its 4 hottest days of all time. Not just for one country, for the entire globe. The Idubbbz glare on average reached a shocking 17 degrees Celsius, which is some number in Fahrenheit. I'm not doing the math for Fahrenheit, okay? I'm an Australian through and through. Celsius is my bitch. The machine used by the United States National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration is not exactly the most accurate machine. It does measure in months and not just days. So the leaders of this group have basically said, take these results with a grain of salt. However, they have also stated that the meaning behind this is clear. The planet is warming up because of climate change. But yet people still believe it's not a thing. Heat waves in China, heat waves in UK, El Nino returning, the hottest 4 days in the world, but yet we'll still deny it. And once again, professionals are giving warnings that we should probably do something sooner rather than later, but you know what? That's a future problem to worry about, right? Why should we be the ones worrying about our planet? I don't care if I roast to a crisp. I care if my dog roasts to a crisp, but me, I don't care. Ending off this week with probably one of the coolest things that could have happened. McDonald's can now cater your future wedding if you live in Indonesia. Only in Indonesia. The Mech Wedding Bundle, which is definitely not its official name, comes with 100 packs of nuggets, 100 chicken sandwiches, and McFlurries for you and your guests to enjoy. Wow, inflation has really led to some amazing changes, hasn't it? Anyways, as usual guys, that has been the Week Link, episode number 3, and still sort of on schedule. I have been your host Ben, and I will see you guys next week for that week's edition of the Week Link. Until then, I'll be whoring myself out on some McDonald's nuggets.